Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. So, hopefully, everyone's having a great time. So, today I'm doing this a little bit earlier than usual because it's Sunday and I have fun things to do. So, I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do later. Um, anyway, I'm Anatai. I'm the owner of the Anatai Wellness Institute. So, this is something that I do every Sunday morning to answer your questions in the Facebook group. So this is a live Q&A every Sunday morning, 10 o'clock at Hawaii Standard Time. So it might be Monday in wherever you're at or nighttime, morning, anywhere. I'll be here Sunday 10 a.m. except today because we're doing an hour earlier. So if you missed it, it's okay. If the video is gonna be there, you can still submit questions. I will review the question later. So I'm right now live on Instagram at Anna dot Anna dot the dot dietitian, and dietitian spelled with a T and it's not C. And then on Facebook, I'm on Facebook as well. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. And I'm gonna keep today's talk a little bit short because, like I said, I have special place to go. And oh, one more special announcement. So I just graduated from Marissa Pierce RTT Rapid Transformational Therapy um, course. So I'm officially a certified hypnotherapist, also a certified rapid transformational therapy practitioner. So that means I can officially take clients and actually take paying clients for my hypnotherapy section. So if any one of you or know someone who have like issue, like obviously weight loss, binge eating, autoimmune, those are my special area, but any other like psychological issue, depression, anxiety, um, of those self-esteem issue, confidence issue, something that I can help with. Anyway, so let's get started because we don't have much time today. So I'm gonna do the same thing like I usually do, just go through the Facebook page, scan through some interesting questions that I'm gonna answer. And just a little bit background, like if you follow me for a while on Instagram or on my Facebook or inside my group, I'm anti dieting and I'm anti starvation because I love to eat. And any and there are plenty of studies to show that. I'll slowly post more of those information. Studies after studies after studies after studies after studies showing that dieting, restrictive eating does not help with long term weight loss. You might lose that weight initially and you feel like so excited, and then you go back to what you were eating before. So you ended up in what they call a weight cycling. Your weight goes up, goes down, goes up and down. Just the thought that your weight is going up and down and the way you eat is up and down, that's just so much stress on your body. And like I said, there are many doesn't work because it triggers the starvation response in your body. Because the human body, the reason why humans have survived all of this, whatever traumatic events over the centuries or gazillion thousand years and come to who we are, and we are on top of the food chain of all of the whole animal kingdom because our body is meant to survive and is super smart and way smarter than other animal in the kingdom. So you can't fool the body to tell that to make fool the body by starving it to lose the weight. The only way to lose that weight permanently is to change your mindset up here. And so the biological side is that any starvation type of dieting, calorie deficit, creates activate the starvation response. And then the other more more urgent question to ask yourself is, why do you feel that you're not enough and you need to look a certain way and to lose all that weight to achieve a certain goal? And I know a lot of doctors always pushing weight loss because the doctors always say you need to lose weight because Your back pain is because you're too heavy. You need to lose weight because your cholesterol level is high. You need to lose weight because you have high blood sugar. You need to lose weight because you have high blood pressure. Or did I say that already? Or high cholesterol. That's what I mean. Um, yeah. So there's all this pressure in the society for us to lose weight in in the um, in the name of being healthy. But what I've noticed is when you're losing weight, forcing yourself to not eat to lose weight, that's not the healthy way. I've seen so many people lose weight by starvation. It's like they lost the spark in the eyes. Like all these um, anorexic patient and people who try to force themselves to lose weight, you can tell they're not happy. Like they're flat. They just come in looks like a zombie because they just don't have the energy. Plus, they're probably not eating enough for the body to make the brain chemicals that's supposed to make them happy. So they have no emotions. They don't even get angry. They don't get sad. They don't get, or they do get sad because a lot of them ended up with anxiety and depression. But with the patient that I work with, those who actually follow my recommendation and eat properly to lose the weight, they always report that they have more energy level, they have more energy, their mood is better, they have more confidence and more self esteem by changing the way that they eat to match what the body needs instead of starving. Because when they starve, they just have even more things. Because when you starve, not only is that your body increase your activate the starvation mode, but that starving causes a dip in blood sugar, and that dip in blood sugar is what causes sugar cravings. But anyway, let's stop talking and let's go answer question. Okay, this question is, I'm not going to talk about me, but these are questions submitted in the weight loss group. So if you're not in the group yet, go check it out. Go join the group. So if you're on Instagram, go Facebook and find the group. And I think the group probably is still under, it's called Amazing Page. If you look up weight loss, binge eating, and autoimmune disorder, they're all connected, and there are future posts to talk about that, or maybe one day I'll talk about that. But yep. How did I lose my lower belly pooch or pouch? I eat fish, veggies, and a little bit of meat here and there, and I stopped drinking alcohol. What am I doing wrong? Okay, so I got this question a lot. People want to lose the belly fat, and a lot of times people gain weight, um, tends to gain a lot of the weight around the belly area, and they try to do exercise like a lot of push-ups and try to lose that belly fat. But let me tell you one thing: the cause of the belly fat not so much like eating wrong kind of food, is more the stress. Belly fat is the representation of your stress level. So stress, let's go talk about stress a little bit. So a lot of times when we talk about stress, like in today's world, when we talk about stress, we're talking about, automatically we think about stress from work, stress from your spouse, stress from your kids, stress from sitting in traffic, those kind of stress, which those are all valid stress. So that's one type. And then there's also physical stress, as in exercising too much, eating too little, have not enough energy, not eating enough, too much calorie deficit, starving. So that's your biological stress. Oh, and also along with the biological stress could be like the food that you eat. So eating the wrong kind of food. So things like a lot of processed food have a lot of chemicals in it, or a lot of processed food that is so processed to a point that your body can't even recognize that it's food. So all those can become stress to your body because your body's like, you're putting all this junk in my body. I have to try to get rid of them. And one way that the body try to protect you from being harmed by all those toxic um, toxic substance you put in your body is by wrapping all this toxin into a ball of fat and tuck it away. So that's one way you can also create belly fat. And then Yeah, so physical, mental, physical, and emotional stress. Then, of course, if you are going through any kind of traumatic event situation, that's another like elevated stress level. So any kind of stress, traumatic stress, emotional stress, and chemical stress, all those contribute to stress and to your belly. So like this person, like the question in her question, she didn't tell how long she's been trying this, but what we're looking at, the way I approach weight loss is not just focusing on what you eat, but I focus on the overall um, what you put in your body, the chemical part, and also what you surround your body around yourself, your environment, the people you hang out with, the things that you hear, the voice you talk to yourself in your head. Because sometimes when you constantly have that negative voice in your head, keep telling yourself that you're such a bad person, you shouldn't have that, you shouldn't have eaten that cupcakes or cookies. You're such a bad person now. I can't believe you do that. You have no willpower. You don't belong to on this earth. You're just waste of space here. Like all these negative things makes your body weaker. And then yeah, so to answer that question is a multifactorial way to approach it, because we have to look at what she's eating, how much she's eating, is she exercising too much, what kind of stress is she surrounding herself with, and if she's having negative thoughts in her head, that's also stressing herself out. So, and then like exercise, are you exercising enough? How you deal with life situation? Because the thing is, the way I look at belly fat is, or any kind of extra body fat around you. So, like emotionally, extra body fat on your body actually serve many different purposes. I know you don't want to hear that because you're like, I just want to get rid of that extra fat. I don't care what purpose it does, but it does serve multiple different purposes. So one, like I mentioned, is your body wraps all the toxin that you ingest or breathe in into wrap it around fat to protect it, because fat is insulating. So especially if your digestive system is not working very well and your body is not able to excrete all that toxin. That's what happens when you eat too much junk, too much garbage. But it's okay, it's totally correctable, and I can help you with that. And then the other thing is that sometimes, which I've talked about before, is that your extra body fat, extra body weight gain is actually a sign of something a lot deeper. And what I meant, something a lot deeper, could be the biological or the chemical side of it, but I'm also talking about the psychological cause of that weight gain. Because sometimes, like what I've noticed, and this is the reason why I decided to study hypnotherapy to learn more about human behavior, is what I notice is a lot of my patients who come to me for help with weight loss, it the weight loss is only part of the issue or the symptoms. When I start asking them more, it's like all this stress in their life, like I mentioned earlier, like a mean boss, spouse, kids, and things like that. It's like a lot of them, they're not putting themselves ahead of everyone else. They're putting themselves behind. They're not speaking up. When the boss keep piling on the work, they're not telling them, no, hey, I don't have time. I only have 8 hours here. You can't keep giving me stuff. How about those people out there? Like, so the fact that you're not speaking and you just let your environment, all the stress coming onto you, not speaking up, not doing anything to change it. So over time, you're just swallowing all this extra stuff in you. So the way I see it is almost like your extra body fats, and that belly fat is almost like actually there's a term for it, like a metaphysical manifestation of all the emotional baggage. So if you look at that way and then start looking, hey, I have this belly pouch here and I'm being suddenly gaining all this weight. I always ask my patient, when did you start gaining weight? What was happening in your life at that time when you start gaining weight? Because we always automatically think that it's because we're eating too much and we're snacking too much and we're binge eating too much to gain that weight, which is true. But then we need to go back one more step. What was the reason why you start eating so much? Why you start binging, and why you start eating all this junk food that you weren't before. Because never just wake up one day and then gain all the weight. It always happened was starting something. And you might not realize that. And there are different kind of eaters. There's even some people who just unconsciously snacking all day and not even notice about it. So it's something that if you have any, so that's something that I just want to bring up to your attention is that with trying to lose weight, we need to look deeper also into the psychological side, because it is true, eating too much calories, eating too much of the wrong calories is going to cause you to gain weight. But the deeper question is why? Why, knowing that the bag of chips is not healthy for you, but you still go for the bag of chips, and you're not going even for the small bag, it's like the big bag. Have patients told me that all the time. They'll eat a whole bag, like a whole bag of Skittles this size, or a big family size bag of chips in one sitting. I know all of you know what's healthy eating is, but the deeper question to ask yourself is why, knowing that that bag of chips and that bag of Skittles not good for you, why you still go for the whole bag and not even just eat a handful? That's the deeper question to ask. Anyway, next question. Okay, here someone said I need a hypothyroidism diet. Can anyone please help me? Yes. So hypothyroidism is a form of autoimmune disorder. So it's basically with hypothyroidism, your body suppress metabolism. That's one of the symptoms of hypothyroidism. So your thyroid function decrease, and along with that decrease, you also have a drop in metabolism, and um, then that causes people having hard time losing weight or start to gain weight. So what I've noticed, like I said, I've been a dietitian for 20 years. I've seen everything. Like patient can come and start lying to me, and I can tell right away that they're not lying because, like I said, I've seen everything and I know what's happening. So with hypothyroidism, I have a lot of patients come to me who have like a lot of extra weight, and they always want to find out maybe I have hypothyroidism. From my experience, when someone who truly have a hypothyroidism, these people they eat they eat very little, but they still also eat normal and they still gain weight. But a lot of times, people with hypothyroidism, like without the binge eating part, they don't end up as obese. They usually just overweight. Um, and have a harder time losing weight and have other symptoms. But if you're obese, um, hypothyroidism seldom is your only cause that cause that. There are more other reason, and like I mentioned earlier, there's probably more psychological reason under the excessive weight gain. Like obese, I'm talking about a BMI of over 30, and I know BMI is not the best measurement of how good your weight is, but that's one definition. But again, it's just a to me, it's just more something like a red flag, and to just take a look. You're not going to be determined by how good you are based on your BMI's number, but BMI gives you a ballpark idea. It's not the most accurate, and in general, out there, there's really not much good numbers to follow. And a lot of my patients so focused on the number on the scale. I was like, I always ask them why you need that. Why you put your self worth on a $20 piece of metal who doesn't even have a brain to tell you what your self worth is? Your self worth should come from yourself, comes from inside you. If you feel good about yourself, everyone around should feel good about you. Your self worth is not dependent on someone's opinion, the number on a cheap piece of metal that has not even a brain. Your opinion of yourself is the best. Um, okay, let's go back to the question. Hypothyroidism is a type of autoimmune disorder. So I talk about starvation a lot, and I'm going to talk about that again because um, so autoimmune disorder the way that most medical professionals and doctors explain to you is that for whatever reason, mysteriously, your body decided to attack your organ and cause the organ to fail or decrease in function. So let me back up a little bit. What most people don't realize is that when you go on a low carb, low calorie diet and also exercising a lot to create that calorie deficit, and again, that calorie deficit is considered as starvation by your body. So when your body senses that you're starving, what it does is it activates the emergency response system. And along with that, because your body's like, oh my God, this girl is starving, let's shut down everything. So your body shuts down metabolism, shuts down organ function, so it shuts down your digestion. That's why a lot of you who's been on weight loss diet for a while probably have a lot of digestive issue like bloating, feeling nauseous, diarrhea, constipation, all those things, bloatedness, and it also suppress what's the other thing is suppressed? Your immune system. So your immune system is suppressed because your body is in an emergency response mode. It suppress metabolism, suppress a lot of body function, including digestion and immune problem, and that's what we see a lot of the autoimmune disorder is because, and then as your starvation prolongs and keep getting longer and longer, the the conventional recommendation is to cut 500 calories to create that deficit, and your body will burn that, right? Here's the flaw of that theory. The theory says that you cut, say you burn 2,000 calories a day normally, right? And then the recommendation is cut 500 calories a day to create a deficit so you can lose 1 pound of body fat a day. So there's actually two flaws here. One is that this recommendation assumes that when you cut the 500 calories, your body's continue to burn 2,000 calories a day, which is wrong because we know that when you drop that 500 calories, your body's going to drop 500 calories to match that. It's just like your paycheck. If you usually make $2,000 a month, you spend $2,000 a month. But when you stop getting $2,000 a month and suddenly you get $1,000 a month, you drop your spending to $1,000 a month. You don't keep spending 2,000. That's like a slow suicide, right? So your body doesn't do that. So that's the number one flaw. Second flaw is that, actually I forgot. Let me think. So it drops, and then let me think. Oh, the other thing is that that recommendation also assumes that when you have that calorie deficit, your body is going to start burning body fats. So that's the second flaw because your body, when that deficit happens, your body's not going deep into the fat because now in this emergency situation, in the starvation mode, your body's goal is to prolong your life as long as possible because when you're starving, even though you know consciously yourself know that there's food like just right around the corner, your body doesn't know that. So your body is like, okay, we need to suppress all the metabolism, slow down all the calories burning so we can prolong as much as possible. And because we know that fat is a very dense source of calories and energy, your body's suppressing the fat burning until it absolutely have to start using fat. So then what happened is your body's suppressing your metabolism, but the other thing your body's also doing is start breaking down organs and tissue for energy instead of fat. So that's the two flaws of the recommendation to cut calories is that you actually suppress your metabolism and you also promote tissue breaking down. And this is the tissue breaking down that is actually mislabeled as autoimmune disorder because your body is not for no reason breaking down or attacking its organ. Your body is actually breaking down tissue, organ tissue to produce energy to keep you alive because of the starvation that you induced in your body in the name of losing weight or starving yourself to lose weight. So that's autoimmune disorder. So to answer the question of what diet helps, there is a diet out there called autoimmune paleo Autoimmune Paleo Protocol Diet. So if you just Google that, you'll find a lot of websites that promotes that diet. And the reason why that diet works is because remember, in a starvation mode, a lot of your organ function is suppressed. So with this diet, it actually helps um, pretty much include most of the healthy, delicious food that your body can process to give you the vitamins, minerals, nutrients that your body needs to kind of regenerate those organ function to bring you up to back to par and makes you feel better. So like I said, you can go to Google and search AIP protocol diet, AIP diet, autoimmune protocol diet, or you can go to my Pinterest account. Is Pinterest, and you go search for Anna the dietitian. You'll find I have like multiple boards that collect recipes on the autoimmune diet. So that's actually a healing diet, not a weight loss diet. But most of my patients, when they go on that diet, they do lose weight, but they lose weight in a good way because their body function is actually getting better because the body is actually finally able to process the food and the nutrients that it needs. So the body is almost like flooded with nutrients, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. So all the organs are starting to function better. They have more energy. They have better mood. Some of my patients actually have the anxiety disappear because of eating better, and then of course their body, the belly size shrink because they're not ingesting as much toxin in the body. So the body start releasing off that yucky toxin that was stored in the body because they're not able to get rid of it. So that's the autoimmune disorder. No, autoimmune paleo diet. So go do a search, and then maybe later I'll put in my note, and then I think I have time to answer one last question. Like I said, I have a special thing to do today, and I'm gonna show you guys later where I go. It'll be fun. Okay, I can't seem to get under 185, assuming pounds. I eat pretty healthy and run for 30 minutes to an hour, 5 to 6 days a week. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I drink around a gallon of water a day. Okay, I can tell you that's two things wrong here. One, you're exercising too much. Number two, when you say eating healthy, I exactly do not know what you mean because that's the thing that I always ask when you come see me and I ask you what your diet is. Pretty much everyone says, "Oh, I eat pretty healthy." So I always get a diet recall. I'll ask you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What do you eat? How much do you eat? And between the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, what do you eat? How often? And I also ask you what you drink in between throughout the day because when someone say I eat a pretty healthy diet, I usually don't believe it because it's such a subjective thing. So, but anyway, so I don't really know what she means, what her healthy diet looks like, because you can still have a healthy diet, like even vegan. I've seen so many vegan, especially kids who are vegetarian. They cut out meat, and all they eat is bread and pasta all day long. So, and then they wonder why they gain 10 pounds in two months. And I was like, um, why are you eating like that? Like, even though they're following the vegan diet, but they're hurting the body. And they said, "Oh, I want to be a vegan because it's healthier," but eating all these processed carbs all day long is really not that good for you. Okay, so first thing probably is she's might be eating too low calories and exercising too much, so she's definitely not eating enough. Second thing that I can see might be wrong is drinking too much water. So I think sometimes we tend to have this thing where we tend to overdo what is good for us. So drinking water is good, but sometimes drinking water might be a little bit too harmful because when you drink too much water, it also means that you have to pee more. And when you pee, you could actually be losing more electrolytes. So that's why like a lot of my patients when they come see me, I always remind them, especially if they haven't been eating very well for a while, I always tell them when you drink water, add a pinch of sea salt in your water. So that way you're replenishing your electrolytes in it. Because this is the problem with the weight loss industry, is that we're so focused on counting calories, we're not focusing on the nutrients that is in the food that we eat. We only think, even when we're thinking about the nutrients content, we only focus on the protein, carbohydrate, and fats, but we're totally neglecting things like vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Those tiny little things that is so super tiny and comes only from fruits and vegetables and anything that comes from Mother Nature, not anything that comes from your food manufacturer or from a factory. So usually vitamins and minerals, they're like key. Think of a key to turn on your car, right? So I can give you a really wonderful car, right? Like you can, like whatever car you want, you can have a Mercedes, a BMW, a Lamborghini, or whatever. I can give you the car, but I didn't give you the key. Sorry. Without the key, your car is useless. Like, what are you gonna do with the car without key, right? So same thing. So the vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants are keys to a lot of the chemical reaction to your body. So just by eating all the calories without eating all getting the vitamins and minerals, you just keep piling on the calories, and then your body's just like, oh my god, all these calories coming in, but we can't use it. So all these extra calories are being turned into body fat. And that's the reason why people often ask, why am I like eating and then I still gaining weight? This is the other reason, is you're just eating empty calories that have no nutrients. But once you start putting in the vitamins and minerals and antioxidants in your body in a form of a lot of vegetables and nuts, bean seeds, and a little bit of fruits, and of course your animal protein and all those, then all these body functions start to function better. So it's like, ooh, the key's here. I can take my Mercedes or my Lamborghini out for a drive now because I got the key. So that's what happened to your body, and that's another reason why your organ function is suppressed, is because you don't have the key to turn it on. It's like kind of also like the Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. I know it's kind of like we're talking about healthy eating, but you know what? Chocolate tastes yummy. You can have it if you want. That's part of the intuitive eating. I know some of you still have that like dieting mentality. No, no candy, no chocolate. No, you can have anything you want. The more you restrict the food you cannot have, the more you want it. Just like little kids. And um, yeah, so it's like the Willy Wonka chocolate factory. Like, I'm handing you the key to the factory. So yeah. Anyway, I think I'm done today. So that was fun. And like I said, whatever question you have, put it in the comment and I can look at it the next time, or I might answer it during the week. So anyway, very good to have you guys all here, and I'll see you all next Sunday at 10 o'clock. Like I said, today I got a special place to go to, so bye.